Good evening, everybody.
No
Hopefully you
viewers
can
yet,
hear us.
but we will have viewers soon. Let me just get the links. Okay, Stevie, I've sent you the link. Are you going to post it?
Yeah, that should do the trick.
There we go.
We have 2 viewers, so whoever's in the chat, feel free to say hello, drop us a message, see how it goes, and maybe we can have a discussion about some good racing here. We're already, I believe, underway with the 15-minute qualifying.
Good evening, Phantom.
Mr. Phantom.
Nice to see you.
Mr. Pretorius.
Yeah, boy, yes.
Hello all. Alfred. I think, Vanna, you need to change your YouTube picture.
Why? It's actually my PlayStation picture. Hello, Wilfred. Nice to see you here.
So, what are we expecting tonight, Vanna, on this race?
Yes, so basically this is
a rundown.
Yeah, just a little bit of a rundown, a bit of history. So Adrian Langenwerfen is a member of our community. He's also a member of the Crazy 8's team. And basically, you know, we got some news within the last week and a half or so that he's been struggling with COVID-19 and is actually in an induced coma in intensive care in hospital with having some respiratory issues. So the Crazy 8's have decided to put a few guys together, and it's actually expanded to have 4 race lobbies.
Yeah, I was going to say a few guys.
Yeah, it turns out to be about 50 oaks.
4 full pools in a couple of days.
Yes.
It's awesome how the guys all jumped in, getting involved.
Exactly,
support
exactly.
And solidarity.
Just a bit of support for the guy, and just for his family as well, specifically his fiance and daughter. And you know, he's a strong guy and he's a fighter, and from what I've spoken to some of the guys, He really is the true gentleman racer. And the guys have just all come together, and there's been special decals created for him to support him, and there's been a livery guidance sent out saying everyone should race with a black, orange and yellow theme. And you'll see that when when you watch the stream, and some of these liveries that the guys have put together, most of them have got get well soon. So Adrian's PSN is C8S Adrian L, and you'll pretty much see that name spread across all the cars, as well as his race number, which is number 20.
Yeah, I see quite a lot of the guys are running 20, and then we also seeing a lot of Aston Martins and Skyline GTRs, which are his favourite two cars.
Exactly, and we are also tonight racing on his favourite track, which is the Nürburgring GP track.
So, I think just to touch on something you were saying, you were talking about the gentleman racer. The C8's, obviously, they are a racing team that's started Pool 8 with a couple of guys, but they're a bunch of gentleman racers in their own right. Obviously, not just one of them. I think they invite only. You have to show certain levels of sportsmanship, just general community standing. I don't think we've had a problem with any of the C8 guys in our GTSA races. Clean, respectful, just the type of guys you want in a community.
Absolutely. They started out as I think as 8 guys, and I think their membership is up to about 13 or 14. I had a chat to one of the founders, Josh Nell, who's in this race. He's put this whole race for Adrian together. I had a chat with him in terms of how their membership works, and they've actually gotten to a point now where the guys that it's by invite only, so they will approach you, and then the guys go on like a 3-month probation period, just so that they can keep track of the guy, people's general behavior, how they are around helping the fellow racers improve, how they handle incidents, how they handle themselves on and off the track, basically. And only once you've complied to all their requirements after the 3-month probationary period will you then be a fully fledged member of the Crazy 8's.
So kind of like a motorcycle club. They get their prospects and they have to do their time before they get their colours.
Absolutely.
That's how the C8s are run, which I think we can all say very well run, nice bunch of guys, and great event. Supporting their own, but we've also got a lot of non-members taking part in the 4 races. For sure.
So this is obviously the Brotherhood lobby, and it is filled with the entire Crazy 8's team, minus obviously Adrian, who this race is for, and then some invitees. We've got Kaylin, which is definitely one of our top racers in GT Sport, KLM Pace, and then we've got JOO Pace, Goniwe, also a very, very quick guy who also races in Pool 1 currently in our manufacturer league, and DMR Fluffy Butt, Stein Nivenaisen. He's been around for a long time as well, and friends with a lot of the guys here. Also a Pool 1 racer, so this should be a very, very, very good race that I foresee.
Just looking currently, our fastest lappers by Kellen Pace of 155.1, DMR Fluffy 55.4, C8's Michael, who spells his name backwards, he is on a 55.4 as well, also very quick driver. I had a couple runs with him during this year, and he always leaves space, no contact, great sportsmanship. 4th place JOO, JD Dog, who's I think dropped to Pool 3 this week, but only because he had birthday last week Thursday and couldn't attend because he was going out, so he was a no-show and got dropped from the GTSA second pool, but also a very quick driver and a very good graphic artist, so definitely take a look at his Nissan just now. We've got 5 minutes left in qualifying.
Yeah, so just for the viewers' benefit as well, the start will be a little bit different to what we normally see. We actually have a specially designed pace car which will lead the field around for the first lap. This is a 30-minute endurance race. So the pace car will be driven by Mr. Murray Walker himself. So it'll take the guys around slowly in a formation parade lap. And then at the end of the lap, the pace car will pull into the pits, and the race will kick off. Also, the last lap, something special. They're planning to do it Le Mans style, where the guys will slow down and finish in the formation as well for the very last lap. And the idea behind this is specifically around, we start together, we end together, just to show the solidarity and support for Adrian and his family during this very testing and trying time.
Great. I see we've got 9 viewers, but not many comments, so feel free to ask questions, steer us in a direction, make fun of our commentary, whatever.
Yeah, as Stephen mentioned just now, we've got Jeremy JD Dog on screen now, and he's got a serious livery on that Aston of his.
Let's see. I think he must have done some testing, because he also did a magnificent, would be the word, skyline. Take a look at a very similar style. He's professional car wrapping artist. Is one of his many skills, so you wouldn't expect anything less, but I think pretty much everyone's done quite a decent job with the liveries.
Absolutely.
Josh Nell's also running the Aston, looking quite good in orange with a bit of black. Seems like almost everyone has gone for the Aston Martin DB9 here. A few advantages to see, but no skylines.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would have thought the the GTR might be quick around here.
Oh, wait, the JOO's in one, hiding in the middle of the pack there. That skyline is a beast on this track.
Sitting on board, Clayton, yeah, he's also one of the founding members of the Crazy 8's. Just taking us around a lap of Nürburgring GP. And then he decides that he's bailing on that lap and doing some donuts.
Get quite involved watching some of these guys at times. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago, Mr. Pace was in pool 2 with me, and we seeded together. I managed to hang on to him for about 70% of the race. The guy's come on so well since then. He's put in the effort. Obviously some talent in there as well, but what does it take to become a top racer, Mr. Vanner, who's now in pool 1 as well?
Firstly, you need a Hyundai GR3 car.
Of course, as one does.
Now, I must say, the lockdown has helped, because it's actually given us a little bit more time to practice. Generally life can be quite busy, and for a lot of the guys it meant, literally rocking up on a Thursday an hour before the race and putting in some practice. So yes, there are a few guys that are still operating that way. For myself, just being able to have some more time on the sim and be able to do some more laps. Practice makes, I think Gary Player said, practice makes perfect. Or the more I practice, the luckier I get. And that is very true. Also, what's really helped me is improving skills like I used to drive with traction control on, and being able to now drive without that. little things like that, driving a variety of the cars, the daily races, give you an exposure on the various different cars, because you can get so sucked into driving one particular car, one particular
looks like we're going to be going
format
live shortly.
Yeah, so
I'm not entered.
We've got a problem here, yeah. We just need to do this now properly. Kalen is standing still with his hazards on, but I think it's because the guys are waiting for the pace car, not realizing that the pace car is not in the race yet. So I'm sure the guys will exit now.
And I was entered, but we were talking when they started qualifying, and I didn't go back in. It was quite bright. I don't know that I wasn't in.
Yeah, so the race will restart now. Josh will just set it manually, the grid, and then make sure that you get that wonderful GTR pace car on the grid. Jesse, nice to see you, bud.
Banner Pretorius livery on it.
One thing you'll notice with the pace car is Adrian is famed for his. They had a cartoon character race, themed race for the Crazy 8's, and Adrian's daughter made it very clear that he is required to have Peppa Pig on his car. So he is. There's a little Peppa Pig for his daughter as well, just to show that we are thinking of her as well on the pace car.
Evening, Jesse. Mr. Sprinkler, how you doing? Looks like Callan's having a little bit of issue connecting.
Viewers, if you have any questions for us, please pop them up on the live chat. Stephen is going to be a little bit occupied for the first 2 minutes of this race just to get that pace car safely around the track.
This pace car that doesn't handle but has 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. We were doing some laps in it earlier, Stephen and I, just to play around a bit while the guys were practicing. And it turned out that it was only about half a second off pole position, so it would have been pretty good in the race as well. It doesn't really corner well, but down the straights it's frightening.
It doesn't corner at all. So they're just busy, obviously, setting the manual grids along. I think we ended with Pace just on pole. I'm not sure if he's going to be starting on pole with his internet issues. Fluffy was second.
I think Michael was third.
Fourth was
Goniwe probably fourth.
Goniwe, yeah. And then JD, the top five hadn't changed right at the end there. once again proof that men don't multitask well. You can't commentate and remember to go out on track. And although I don't want to influence qualifying. So
no, exactly. We were caught a bit off guard though, with late internet issues for the original host of this race, Josh Pillay, but unfortunately his fiber decided to no longer work. So we did manage to get the stream up in time and arrange a new host and arrange a new pace car driver.
Yes,
all right, looks like we're off.
It's not often I get a free pole position, so
absolutely make the most of it.
There goes Mr. Pace disconnecting. Noel is asking how Adrian's doing in the comments here. I don't know if you can handle that, Werner.
Sure. How's it, Noel? So we heard back from Adrian's lady today. Unfortunately, he was supposed to come out of the induced coma this past weekend, but they've had a few complications. So they've actually decided to keep him under sedation for the remainder of the week. Hopefully later in the week he will be brought out of that induced coma. In which case at which point they will also decide what further treatment will take place. So yeah, at the moment he's critical but stable. That's no change from the news we got towards the end of last week. So obviously still thoughts and prayers with his family. As you can see, the specially designed pace car is taking the guys around. Just a reminder, we said the whole idea behind this is, we start together and we finish together. And that's what Brotherhood is all about, and that is what our community is all about. As Stephen takes the guys around the track. Just a reminder now, unfortunately, it looks like Kalen is not going to be able to join us. He's having some connection issues. We got Stain, Mr. Fluffy Butt, in effectively taking over pole position, followed by Michael, Goniwe in fourth. Sean, Skitty 1, actually starting in fourth place. Stick Safe in fifth. Jeremy, JD Dog in seventh place, and Clayton in eighth.
I must say the upside about driving the pace car is at least I'm not going to be caught out by the chicane at this speed. Because they did ask us to keep it to about 140, which is what I'm doing at the moment.
Alright, and as Stephen goes into the pits, the leader will take over. And just having a look and see when Mr. Fluffy decides to drop the hammer. Alright, and the race is a go.
Sorry, Kaylin, your internet letting you down there. We did see your livery there, so at least you managed to get some airtime. A pole position, but unfortunately a bit of a bad internet connection there. It'd be nice to see you battling up front here with Fluffy and Michael. See our PlayStation 1 controller man Wes, also a C8 member, sitting 3rd place currently. Wes drives with X and square and left and right, no analog sticks, no fancy wheel setups. Still don't know how it goes that fast, but it's one of those special talents we have. JWO 4th in the Nissan, JD 5th, Sticksafe 6th, Clay 7th, Blummy 8th, 9th place we've got Josh Nell, 10th Brits Finnick, whose wife won our ladies race not so long ago. Skitty is just overtaking him down to the chicane. T8 Falcon 11th. Something happened to Josh in there. Mr. Vanna, are you still around?
I am around, yes. Just having a look, I was reminded now over WhatsApp by one of the guys just to, the other four, 3 pools, 4 pools in total tonight. They've each been given a very specific name by the Crazy 8 guys. So just want to run through those. Pool 1, which is the pool that we're streaming from our GT Sport page, is called Brotherhood. And then the other 3 pools is called Hope, Faith and Love, which I thought was a very nice touch.
They've really done well with this. The effort put in a livery on a car can take anywhere from half an hour to 3-4 hours, some of them. They're not quick and easy, not always quick and easy to make. I know JD sat and made a whole bunch of these decals on Coral Draw, then you've got to convert them to the right format, upload them to the site. Like you say, the different names to the groups, the organisation, big effort in here by the C8 guys.
Absolutely. Nice little midfield battle. It looks like Fluffy is pulling off a nice lead in the front. Just a reminder of the fuel and tyre usage is in play. I didn't do too much running myself for this, but it seems like the guys can get probably only get away with a 1-stopper in this race. Only the soft tyres are used for this race, and as we said, this is a 30-minute endurance race, and hoping for a little parade finish at the end as well. We'll see. I do know that the guys that are actually racing are also in their own party chat, so hopefully they manage to synchronize that towards the end.
Awesome. We'll take a look down and around about 5th place. We've got quite a big battle, 5-way battle for 5th.
Big dive there on the inside by Clayton. Oh, and he's managed to take Jeremy out completely. But in true style, true Crazy 8 style, he will wait for Jeremy to retake that place. The problem is that they've both now lost maybe 4 or 5 places along the way as well.
But that just puts him into the next battle, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th. So
Josh now cruising at the back. It looks like he's having some problems with that Aston, trying to keep it on the black stuff. Ramon taking a agricultural route.
detour.
Not quite sure what happened there. That might be a connection issue. Yes,
Yeah,
and there he goes. That's unfortunate.
Well, you've got to love our first world internet that we have in South Africa. Guys like Callan staying in central areas of major cities having problems. Ramon, I'm not sure where he's based, but obviously something went wrong with the internet there. It'd be nice if Gran Turismo gave us a local African server instead of our network's having to connect all the way to Europe.
We can hope.
Maybe with Gran Turismo 7. Right now I think the guys all need to have a little bit of hope. Trying to catch Fluffy though.
Yeah, it does seem like he's...
Michael's holding the gap at about 4 seconds with 2 seconds to Wes, and then JOO right behind Wes, those four clearing off at the front.
Guniwe looking quite racy on the back of Wes there. Wes having to go quite defensive into turn 1.
It was quite interesting combo because I drove that Aston for the first time earlier, and it was quite nice in the corners, but that Nissan's a bit of a brute on the straight, so...
Absolutely. With the latest BOP update though, yeah, some of the guys are complaining a little bit because they're saying that they've made it even heavier, which made it even worse on tyre wear as well.
They deserve that because they have about a second a lap advantage on top end on some tracks. We've got Team Datsun that was all doing quite well earlier this season with it. You don't see a lot of guys driving that at Aston Martin. I think Travis, he's one of the manufacturer guys on the Aston. I can't think of anyone else at the moment. It's not a bad car. GR3 and 4 got a bit of power. It's probably not the most overpowered on any track, but it also definitely felt like your Hyundai, far from the worst.
Absolutely.
How's the comment section going? I see you. Rayon, Ravanti, I'm there with you, Caitlin. Love, faith and hope for our Brotherhood. We'll keep you in our prayers, Adrian. Durant, I've only raced Adrian once. See you soon on the black stuff, bud. Caitlin, pace, COVID's
yeah, well, let's not repeat that.
Recovery. We see you back on track soon. We love you, brother. I think those are just the sentiments of our guys. We're an awesome bunch, but I think everyone's sharing that same concern for one of our brothers. And I'm not going to, one of our other hosts tonight, I'm not going to say names, he's also had a diagnosis, but he's healthy and feeling a lot better at home, so hopefully he's back on 100% and feeling well enough to race with us in the next week or two.
Yeah, absolutely. He has, I chatted to him again today just to check up how he was doing, and he mentioned to me that still some fevers now and then, so he's struggling to race and to focus for a race length. So, but he has very, very happily offered his hosting services, and he's also running a stream for that pool. So it's very, very kind of him and very nice, just showing as well that he's with Adrian and with the family as well.
Correct. So we might not know everyone's story, we might not know who's battling, but the guys generally, if you need something, shout, and I'm pretty sure someone in the community can help, even if it's just someone who's been exposed to a person who's got COVID and needs to isolate and needs a hand with getting some groceries. I'm sure someone in your area on our group would be willing to go and drop some stuff off for you. If you alone, or if you have anyone needing help, reach out. Guys are here. I mean, the C8s are proving it tonight. Obviously people respect each other's privacy, but they mustn't be shy either.
Absolutely. And I think we've helped guys in the past with quite a lot of things, but I think this came as quite a big knock to a lot of the community guys. Most of the guys know Adrian. They've we know him for his infectious laughter while races are going on, and he always sees the bright side of things. Amazing family man. Just some history on him as well. He's 42 years old, so still very, very young. He works as an IT security consultant, and as mentioned earlier today, or earlier this evening, he's known for his Peppa Pig livery in honor of his daughter, which was used during a cartoon character race at the Nürburgring, at the same track as they're racing on tonight. So again, just to Adrian's family, I know that his missus is watching as well, and hopefully the little girl as well. We are here for you no matter what. Just shout. So through Josh Nell, who has been in touch with the family, if there's anything that we as a community can do, please just give us a shout.
Definitely. Callan's offering some Sky Coffee in the comments.
Is that a true offer or is that a punt, Callan?
I think that's a punt, but I'm sure Sky Coffee, Callan's sponsor, and one of our other community members, I'm sure they could organise something for Adrian. Maybe even the commentators.
Callan, how's your internet, bud? Would you like to come in and commentate with us for the last 15 minutes? I can invite you to the chat, seeing that you couldn't race.
Yeah, let's get some pace in here.
Stephen, I don't know if maybe you can maybe invite him. If I start messing around now, the stream is going to disappear.
Yeah. So it looks like we've still got Fluffy flew off into the distance. The lead was over 8 seconds.
I think the battle on track, Goniwe is just past Wes. They seem to be having a right old scrap. Michael's still holding station in second place, setting a fastest first sector, a personal fastest first sector.
I see Mr. Pace says he's unable to use on his phone.
Okay.
I just sent an invite, but I think it's also needs to be confirmed by host. Callan Pace wants to know, where did Wes get this pace from? What? Must be from the C8s, because he's not Wes Pace yet. Are you allowed to join two teams? I think it's against the rules.
I think it will be against the rules. So far, the Pace team consists of both members. Josh Null did send us some information about the Crazy 8 specifically earlier today. Just get that back up, yeah. So he said the team was formed around a year ago, and they've slowly been adding members. They had 14 at the moment. So what they do on a Monday night, which is what this race forms part of, is they do an arrive and drive race to help their racing skills, and then they also do a monthly endurance race. So the arrive and drive is actually very, very good, because there isn't really much time to practice. A lot of the times they'll rock up in a lobby and only hear then what the race is. They also do some fun lobbies as the races and time permits, and then they obviously are part of numerous leagues, of which GTSSA is obviously the main league that they will all be part of. And they will also then as a team practice together. He says that they've got an active WhatsApp chat, which I'm sure most WhatsApp groups are quite active, especially during this lockdown period, I've noticed. They have a cat mascot, so we'd love to hear from them at some stage what the mascot's name is. And they like racing, competition, lacquer people. They dislike punters, rammers, and people who behave badly. I'm not going to use the word that he did say there.
Don't be a...
rule number one.
I see Callan says that Conway is part of 100 teams, so just now he's going to rock up with C8, DMR, Pace,
GTSA,
GTAS, Conway, JOOR/
President.
Yeah.
So Mr. Fluffy having a lonely race in the front. 154.7 fastest lap. It's a pity about Callan's disconnect, because I think it would have been a good race, the two, and goes in for his pit stop with about 12 minutes to go. So as predicted, one stopper. Let's have a look at the pit crew, see if they're as efficient as the F1 teams.
Out. I'm just looking.
That's quite a quick pit stop. Did some fuel saving towards the end there, I would guess.
Getting in front, Michael with JOO right behind him. Now in first and second place.
It looks like Fluffy might have just squeezed in between the two of them.
Oh yes, you're right. So Jay's in third, Stig Safe, also another very quick driver. We haven't mentioned much about him tonight. He's in up to fourth.
Wes must have made a mistake somewhere, unless he pitted. So Wes pitted, which has put him back into fifth place at the moment. And Sean,
he's in the middle of a big
Skitty one, huge fight here at the moment. Skitty one on screen, Sean. He's sort of the standard weekly manufacturer pool one host. Fantastic host at that. He's been with us as well for a number of years now. Also a very, very quick guy when he gets time to put some practice in. But even without practice, he will comfortably finish top 10 in a pool one race.
For anyone watching who doesn't know pool one, that would just be where the quickest drivers qualify. With GTSA, what we do is the top three in each pool get promoted every week, and the bottom three get relegated. So if you're in pool 2 and you come second, you'll move up to pool 1, and if you 14th, 13th, 14th or 15th, you'll get dropped from pool 1 to pool 2. So it's very competitive up there, and if you're a pool 1 regular, like a lot of these guys, obviously you're very quick. But after that it gets even more competitive, because pool 2, 3 and 4 are full of guys that could be in pool 1, but they all fighting to try and get that honor. I mean, JD, Clay, Wes I think is busy in the Nation Series. JOO, Oz up and down between 1 and 2. Michael's not racing this season. He started, but then he missed a few races, so he pulled out. He's also pool 2, pool 1 driver.
Wow, we just had a wonderful message from Claire, which is part of Adrian's family. She's saying that she's eternally grateful to everyone for putting this together. The family thanks us very much, and for the prayers and well wishes, Claire and Adeline. Claire and Adeline, we are with you guys. You are in all of our prayers.
For our terrible commentary.
Our commentary is really probably not the greatest, but we can't. Nothing we can do can give the true honor to Adrian that he deserves. But hopefully, the turnout and you guys can see the effort that went into the liveries, and just if you guys were just part of the WhatsApp chats over the last week and a half, just hearing everyone's support, I'm pretty sure Josh would have sent on most of that to you. So Claire and Adeline, we are thinking of you, and thank you for joining us and for being part of this race night.
Definitely, 100%. Just sending out all. I mean, a race can't do much, but a lot of positive energy, and that I definitely believe can always make a difference to people who need it. I think I know Josh O'Nell's very big on karma and sending out good vibes into the world, and getting it that's sent out, it comes back to you tenfold. So it must be a C8 thing.
Absolutely.
So we're more than happy to do our little bit. Just sitting here talking, the C8's put in all the effort. Adrian's the one who's actually fighting and kicking ass. The family are the one that have the hard time, so our job is easy.
For sure.
Like you said, if anyone needs anything, just shout. And like Kaylin in the chat says, don't forget to like and sub to GTSA, the YouTube channel.
Thanks for that. And while you're at it, you can swing over to Kyle M. Pace's YouTube channel and someone like and sub there as well. Yeah. Just to get back to the race, so little battle, nice little battle there between Michael and Fluffy Bat. Fluffy has just gone past Michael again. Michael hasn't stopped yet, I don't think, if I'm correct. Steve, I don't know if you can just double check that. It doesn't look like he has pitted. Maybe he's trying to do a no stop. He looks like he might be able to push the fuel towards the end.
I'm just looking at his lap times. He's done his worst lap for Fluffy was a 2:07, so that's obviously when he pitted on lap 9, but everything else was 54s, 53s. Michael's been running constant 56s. His first 7 laps were lap 3 to 7 was 56. He slid in a 57, then a 255, and then a 57 again. So he's been very constant. He's got a quarter of a tank left and enough time left in the race that I think he'll be able to no stop it.
Absolutely.
I don't think they had a rule, but it's obviously bumped him a lot closer to Fluffy. He was 9 seconds behind when they pitted, and he's only 2 behind now.
For sure.
Jay's in third.
Interesting.
3 seconds further
Interesting
back.
to watch. Ganiwe also looks like he's not going to be stopping. He is. He looks like he's catching Michael slowly. We'll see what happens towards the end. I'm just not sure. 3 seconds over 5 minutes that's remaining in the race. Might be a bit of a bridge too far.
2, maybe 3 laps that they'll get him, but the last lap we obviously finishing in Le Mans style.
Yes.
Skitty also hasn't stopped. Stave a no stopper. Wes stopped on the last lap 12. He's down to 6. Clay has just stopped on this previous lap. JD stopped on lap 9. Blitz lap 9. Falcon 10. Josh 8. Leon looks like either 8 or 9 because he had two slow laps in a row.
I wonder if he stopped without refueling and then realized he has to go back in again.
Well,
that's happened to me before.
It happened to me here where there's a glitch when the game, I think about a year and a half, 2 years ago. It was the only Pool 1 race I've ever actually done. I was battling with Slayer and Cartes for 7th, 8th and 9th when we only had 10 people in the pool and 3 got relegated, and unfortunately when I went into the pits my car started putting petrol in, and without me touching the button it just drove off, so I had to put an extra time and came last and got relegated and haven't been back since, thankfully. I like Pool 2, it's a little bit more comfortable. Kaelin's shouting come JW there.
Yeah, he's only two seconds back, 3.5 minutes to go, so this is going to come down to the wire.
I think they're going to finish this lap and then they might, it's on time, so I think they might just finish it, have another lap after that before crossing the line and doing the last lap together.
Yeah,
but I think
I'm pretty sure they will sync that all together.
Blommy in 12th place is 50 seconds behind, so
guys, don't go away. After the race is finished, we're going to try and get Josh on the stream here and just have a word with him as well, who put all of this together as one of the should we call them captains of the Crazy 8's. GTR showing some good pace now, 1.7 seconds.
Closing down every millimeter of the track. I think those fresh tyres that he put on lap. No, he never.
No, he didn't pit.
Jay didn't stop. Fluffy stopped. Fluffy was the fastest lap on a 154.7. Jay's got the gap down, getting under 1.5 now.
Which means he'll now be in the slipstream down the straight, so this is going to make it very interesting. I'm going to stick with this battle.
Not sure if he's got enough time left. It
looks like they're slowing down now. That's it. I think they want to absolutely make sure that they can get one more lap in.
I think if they had carried on over the line racing, they would have been able to slow down and cross the line before the time ran out, but pretty much everyone from about 4th place backwards would have finished the race on a separate lap.
Yeah.
So this is going to be our finishing order. Fluffy, which is DMR Fluffy Butt, C8's Layer whatever 77 VR, which is actually Michael, JOOR Pace, who's gone away, Skitty 1, Stick Safe, Wes, Clay, 7th place. 8th place, Wes, obviously his pit stop right at the end there cost him. JD Dog Jeremy in 8th place, Brits finish 9th, Falcon 10th, Josh Null in 11th place, and Bommy in 11th because something happened there with Josh. He's jumping all around on my screen here.
Yeah, I think.
Have you seen anyone finish like this before?
I have not seen this. I think this is very special. I've seen a start before where it was synchronized with a pace car, but this, I think, this is a wonderful idea. It's such a nice show of support. As Josh Nell said, the idea behind this is to say,
as this view
we start
down
together,
straight now,
we finish together. How good does that look?